Welcome guys, and welcome to my first out of all video of 2023. New year, big changes. As you can see, we have already changed the plant. We've got something wild going on here, and it's all because of this lithium mine that we got going on. It sometimes runs out of lithium and sometimes it doesn't. It's a very peculiar one to work out. Let me just guide you through what we're doing. The idea that we've had is we want to go and reach that little shack over there, but to do that I want to build a road, and knowing that all of this stuff is dirt and it's all diggable, this is what we are looking at here. Let me talk you through what I've done, and hopefully it will make a little bit of sense. The sorter, we know, will drop dirt. I have decided that this is going to be my road. This is the level that I need to be. The top blocks, it's as wide as I would like it to be. It should give us enough of a width to run things down there. Hopefully we don't get anything too wide. So what I'm doing is I'm basically packing out the sides and just letting it fill up with dirt as it runs through. Yes, there are currently big holes in it, but that's because I ran out of blocks and I wanted to get the rough shape just so I can do what I was doing. Over here, I have removed the blocks here just to see what it's like, and we're kind of happy. There are a few areas that the block doesn't always get to the ground. It's a little bit tricky trying to place the blocks into the ground because it needs that snap point to be able to get it. So like here is a prime example. I can't snap onto this block on the right hand side here because its snap point is too far underground. I can snap to this one, rotate, gives me this one, but I can't go to this one, as you can see how far underground it is, and fill this in. But so far it hasn't been an issue because the dirt drops and rolls and it does still hit it. This whole corner is a great example. This, well, I'd have expected the dirt to roll under it, but it didn't. So we are able to slowly kind of build up the level using this, and it's a much better way than trucking it. It means I can just dig it straight out of the lithium mine or even off the top and just dump it in and it runs through. So sort spits off the mud goes to build the road, and then we go through the system. Jaw crusher onto the conveyors, cone crusher through the conveyors, and we've got another sorter. So this second sorter is basically two things. One, it was actually the cheapest thing in the shop at the time rather than a conveyor. And looking at it, it's actually perfect fit. So I had to kind of build the system starting with this conveyor and then also starting down here as well. So I had to make from the jaw crusher all the way through to the sell point, line up and reach. So we started here. This is our wooden block that gave us our perfect placement for this so that the ore could drop straight to sell point. And then I just ran a line of blocks backwards, which helped me get the angle of this conveyor underneath, which is why you notice it's not straight. But it does capture everything it needs to, and it's in the perfect angle to then run through the system all the way up here. Also, at the moment, and probably subject to change, I don't know, having more sorters slightly increases the percentage chance that you're going to get more valuable materials from the crushed rock, actually, so it might actually be in the wrong place. But when I have been watching, I haven't been getting an awful lot of gravel through. I've been getting a lot of other materials. It might work, it might not work, but what I'm saying to you is it was cheaper at the time to buy a sorter than it was to buy a conveyor. So even if it just acts as a conveyor belt, I don't feel like I'm losing anything, apart from the fact that it's running and costing me money. So at the moment now it's empty anyway. We'll turn that all off, make sure we're all good with stuff, everything's hunky-dory, and turn this off too. So it's going to be a very large project. It's going to take a lot of time, and now with obviously the new year and everybody's back to work and stuff, don't know how much time I'm going to have to put in it, but we're going to do what we can do and we're going to see what we can see. We don't have anything in there at the minute either. Hopefully you guys get the idea of what we're trying to achieve. I have no idea how long this will take, and looking at how long it took me just to build sort of this half that we've got mounted up here of soil, it's going to take me a very long time. But I haven't been paying too much attention. As you notice, there's a perfect example here. You can see the different stages. So this is all dirt, and then from this line down is pay dirt. So that is exactly how it is everywhere. Now in the Discord, there's people doing all sorts of number crunch and whatever else, and they say that the height of the dirt from grass to pay dirt is about 6 meters. So that's all like waste. So if it really comes to it, if push comes to shove, I could just scoop a load of dirt and just bung it in and run it through the sorter and just fill it up. But we also have the option of blasting all of that dirt away and getting us straight to pay dirt. And this is where we start to make a little bit of money. So it all depends on how things work out. As this bit gets deeper as well, it's going to get a little bit more tiresome. But it's going to help us with obviously getting the money that we need to run it through the system. And this hole will probably end up changing and getting as big as the coal mine, if not bigger. I don't know yet. I'm just trying to work a few things out and see where we need to go. Because of this new setup though, potentially means that we could open up the coal mine again and just run this, scoop it off the top, dump it in the hoppers, run it all up the conveyor belt system, and then just connect the conveyor belts. I could just run it over and just drop it into the hoppers and it will carry on through the system. There's just plenty of options. We just need to see what money we get back first. That's the thing. Because I was getting a lot of soil from the coal mine and it'd be a shame to throw it all in. But for the moment, I'm just going to keep on digging. We're going to see where we get to. Right, so two things. I will address the elephant in the room, which is a big hole with these 4 blocks in it. This was originally going to be where I was going to put the conveyors. So what these 4 blocks are is I put the blocks down so I could connect the dray where I wanted it and blast it so that the hole was right. And then I kind of went on a run to blast the nuke and stuff and realised that's a pretty good way to go. Which one are you still working? You're still working. That's going to cost me some money. That's a shame. But yeah, after a few loads, hopefully this will be able to show you what I'm on about and trying to do. So we'll start this up and then it will sift through, and any dirt it drops, and then obviously that goes and finds its point and then it goes away. And what I'm hoping to do is build it up enough so that I can either dozer it or grade it and I have a nice flat surface. It'll be like this high all the way across. So it's going to take a while, but this is basically how it's filling up. So as it sorts through the dirt goes in hole, and all goodies go through the rest of the system. Like I say, I am now thinking that that sorter isn't actually doing anything, that second one, but it was the right size for the job, cheapest job, so I'm keeping it there regardless. All we get through here, as you can see, the crushed rock and all the different resources, which is fantastic, because it hopefully means it's going to earn us a bit of money. However, it is going to be quite costly. We just have to see what happens, and then it will stack up the sorter, and then we can go from there. It is going to take a while, and hopefully now actually we can put these blocks here or here, whichever goes first. And it is a bit of a long process, but whoop, got hit by some dirt. But it could be fun. I'm intrigued by how this is all going to go together, if it will at all. Hopefully this process does work, because we've got a long way to go. Now ultimately this back wall isn't that important because I can keep moving it out, and as I move it out obviously I'm going to have to move the sorter as well. That is the other thing. It is a plant that moves and kind of grows with the rest of it as we develop. I will have to see how that goes as we go on. It might be extremely tedious, but ultimately, you know, we can work with it, I guess, is the easiest thing. I would like it to fill up to a certain extent so I can remove some of the lower blocks, because as soon as I can start taking some of these bad boys out, the better off we're going to be, because obviously we're going to get the blocks back rather than buying hundreds of millions. Ultimately, buying hundreds of millions, our expenses don't allow that at the minute. Not yet anyway. It'd be nice to see where it's going to end up, but ultimately it's going to be a lot of dirt, especially as we get more and more and more towards the valley, because obviously look, it goes down a lot. But ultimately, you know, there's plenty of dirt around. I think I might have bitten off more than I can chew with this, but if I can get the time and get the hours in, fingers crossed, we should be okay. We should be, you know, capable of doing something. Yeah, so it depends on how much dirt we throw in, how much we get through. We've got lots to do. This is something that we do have to watch out for, though. Hopefully it won't happen too much. I mean, we can flatten it a bit, so hopefully it doesn't just mount up, but that is something that we do have to look at and keep checking back on now and again. The issue with that is if we hit it with an excavator or anything, it doesn't seem to give us any soil. It just kind of makes it all disappear. which is obviously not what we want. We don't want soil to disappear around here. We need it to fill all this up. Yeah, so we don't have any loan debt or anything like that. So all money that we're getting back is money until we get a charge for our machine running costs. Once we get a charge for the machine running costs, then it might be a little bit interesting, but at the moment we're moving in the right direction and things are going well. So I just wanted to let you guys know what the plan was, and I don't know how long it's going to take, but that is the plan. We'll probably get a little bit drawn out with it. I don't need this guy right now, we can sell him. He's a great example to use. But currently, as you see, the road is going to be big enough for him, albeit quite tight. It's going to be big enough for him to drive down, and that's the idea, that we do have a road that's big enough for stuff. And I know that there's potential for bigger machines coming. I just hope that they're not too big, and if they are, then we'll have to look at changing the road when we need to. Currently we don't need him, so what I'm gonna do is send him off and say thanks for your service, my friend. That doesn't make the money situation look half bad now, does it? So anyway guys, I will see you again next time. Happy digging, take it easy, bye for now. Bye everybody.